Hey, what's going on? This is your resident Icelandic feedmaster, Ingvar Johannesson, aka Exhibit, and I have another very pretty game for you. This was played around the turn of the 19th century, and with the white pieces we have Miklos Brody, the guy up there, and he was a Hungarian / Romanian master. He had some nice tournament results, placing even second or third behind Maroksi and such masters of the time. And after the First World War, he became Romanian. The First World War, of course, changed the landscape of Europe. So where Miklos Brody lived became Romania, and he actually played in three Olympiads for Romania. 1, 2, 3. So well done, Miklos Brody. His opponent in this game is L.Banya, and I can't see the name Banya without thinking about Kenny Banya from Seinfeld. It's gold, Jerry, it's gold! But I don't think there's any relation, especially because Kenny Banya is a fictional character. So without further ado, let's move on to the game. Miklos Brody had the white pieces and he opened with e4, as you would expect from a game from 1901. Played in Budapest, by the way, which is a lovely city. We have the King's Gambit. Been to Budapest 3 times, I believe. And Budapest is, of course, divided by a river, and you have Buda on one side and Pest on the other one. Lovely city, I love it. I'd like to get back there somehow, someday, but we can't do everything we want in life. So we have the King's Gambit by Brody. The only way to play against the Gambit is to accept it. That's what Banya did on knight f3. g5, hanging onto the pawn for dear life. But now bishop c4, development. 2 pieces out against none. 2-0, g4, attacking a piece. What do we do? Do we go for the Museo, perhaps? Castles. Take our knight. That's what black did. And, well, okay, white is down a piece. But we have this wonderful bishop bearing down on this diagonal here to the f7 pawn. We have the king still stuck in the center. And notably, black hasn't gotten a single piece out. And we have the queen and the rook ready to pounce on f4 and attack f7. Queen f6 by black. If we not take on f4, there's a queen trade. We don't want that. So how do we keep the attack going in romantic old school style? We sacrifice more pieces. e5. Hit the queen. What to do? Queen takes e5. Now, if we take on f7, that's the pure Museo Gambit. And that's a cool way to play. Take on f7, which didn't happen in the game, which is why we have the variation color. So, if you see a blue board, it's a variation. It didn't happen in the game. And here, d4 is the most common move. And after queen takes d4 check, we have the cheeky move bishop to e3, hitting the queen. And the point, of course, is that the white will gain time for the attack to use the f-file, because black can't take here because of the pin against the king. So this is a very attractive gambit. And actually, 2 years ago, two rather than 3, we had the game of the day in the Reykjavik Open, which I'm responsible for selecting. And it was a Danish player rated around 1700 who played against a Norwegian, now grandmaster. He played this gambit and he absolutely slaughtered the guy, and he got game of the day. In this game, however, Brody went with b3. Now this offers up the rook on a1, a whole rook. Banya didn't accept, but what happens? I mean, a computer would take and probably defend, but how do you fancy this as a human? We have the bishop bearing down on f7, we have the queen and the rook ready to pounce, take on f4, attack here, and black has 0 pieces out, nothing, and the queen is cut off from the game. If you want to defend this, be my guest, but it's gonna be difficult. So, at the time, Banya didn't fancy this, and he decided to get some pieces out, and played bishop to h6. This at least defends the f4 pawn, so there's no activation of the white forces on the f file. So white gets more pieces out, knight c3, blocking the attacked rook on a1. It's no longer on pre. We have knight e7. Black wants to get castled. Bishop to b2, and look at these pieces. Everything is active. We got the bishop, the raging bishops bearing down on these diagonals. The f file is ready to be attacked ferociously, and the other rook is coming to e1. Following that, we have some knight jumps to b5 or d5, hitting the black queen. So tremendous activity for white for only a piece. Black decided to castle. Of course, white brought more pieces to the attack. Rook a to e1. Queen to4 check, the king moved. And now, yeah, if black had time to play like c6, d5 and get the bishop and the knight out, he could be okay, but he doesn't get the time. The knight on e7 is attacked, so it moved to g6. And now a cheeky move by white. The bishop on b2 is undefended, but we see some discoveries, some ideas of a discovery hitting the queen. So white simply played bishop a1. And now we're threatening to play our knight, probably to d5, and simply hit the queen. And it's really hard to deal with. Black went with queen to h8. His idea is to interpose the bishop on the diagonal. After knight d5, he played bishop d7. And oops, I clicked a little too soon. But here you see that black hasn't gotten these pieces out. The rook, the knight, and the bishop on a8, b8, and c8. So white has a lot of time, and he took an f4, which is not the best move, but it's the most attractive move. The point, of course, is that the queen cannot be captured because of this insane small mate. 5 pieces boxing in the king, so when the king is boxed in, you need the knight to give check, and that's exactly what's happening in this variation. However, black saw this, and after queen takes f4, he played knight c6, covering e7, and now threatening to take the queen. Here, white has, well, he has a mate in 3, which is the shortest mate, but white didn't go for that, but he went for a prettier mate. So there's a mate in 3 and a mate in 4. So stop the video and try to find one of the forced mates that white has. It's a really good exercise. It's just calculation. Find some logical moves that are quite forcing, and forcing moves are usually checks, captures, etc. So I will now show you the solution. So the shortest mate would have been to play knight e7. This is mate in 3. This did not happen in the game. That's why we have the variation color, the blue one. After knight e7, black must take, and now we simply have bishop takes f7 and a mate in 3 with queen takes f7. This is nice, but there's a nicer mate, and that's actually what happened in the game, and probably what drew me to it in the first place. Instead of knight e7, white played another queen sacrifice, his second queen sacrifice in the game. Although it's not a pure sacrifice because it was made on e7 in the first case, but it's nice nonetheless. Aesthetic, queen takes f7. Czechoslovakia. Only one move, rook takes. And this king will feel the heat. It's too boxed in. Rook e8 was played by Brody. And no matter what you interposed, you get mated. Banya went for knight to f8. If you interpose the bishop, it doesn't really matter because this bishop is luring on a1 and will cover the g7 square. So the same result, knight e7 would happen nonetheless. And after knight takes, we have this very nice checkmate. Bishop takes f7. An absolute slaughter of a game. And yeah, very aesthetic. I mean, we love games like these. I do, I hope you do. And I'm signing off on this one, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.